So you like my sweater thing? Well, let me kind of fill you in on how this happened. Number one, the little thing on the sleeve that says crab meat or whatever. All 4 jackets had something different on it. We didn't know they were that he was even going to do that. The big thing is the name, the rake. Back in the late 50s, everybody was cutting coils out of their front springs to lower the front down. So that we just made up. And the reason we put Los Angeles on it, that's where, as far as we were concerned, that's where all the neat cars were. Tucson was just kind of, but Los Angeles was like the mecca for fast cars and custom cars and things like that. Both of those things, the rake and Los Angeles, were just made up. A bunch of us hung around, but four of us were interested in jackets. So, we just kind of saw the ad in a magazine, and, a car magazine, and called, and, he was just, he was really cool, he just, the way he talked and everything else, and, we kind of gave him a free hand, as far as the image on the jacket. And he said, well, don't worry, I'll get them to you, and I can't remember what we paid, but back in the late 50s, probably $5 a piece or something. I know it wasn't that expensive, but he sent them on. We were thrilled to death when we got them. It was just a big thrill for us to even have. I just have moved that jacket so many times,
Yeah.
And every time my wife or somebody would say, why didn't you get rid of that? And I said, no, someday, blah, blah, blah. Of course, when my son and daughter-in-law were over helping me move, and I showed it to them, and they kind of laughed. They said, if you had passed away and we found out, we'd probably just thrown it away. But so, it was just the culture at the time. We just pretty much lived cars. We used to race a lot. We had an area outside of Tucson where we used to race. It was on a highway, and it would be so popular. There may be 100, 150 people up there at night. If the police would come, people just scatter through the desert or on up the mountain. It was just I don't know. I think back about it. I think some of the most fun I ever had in my life was that time frame. We just bunch of guys got together. We rented a big double garage. It was full of car parts. It was just a good time. And, and the sweaters were just something we did. We had a few bucks. We thought, let's do this, and pretend like we're like a car club from L.A.